Now let's make the strawberries. Take out the red yarn. First make a magic ring. Wrap the yarn around your little finger, then brilliant to your index finger. Make a loop around your middle finger. Pinch the yarn with your thumb and your middle finger. Insert a hook into the loop on your middle finger. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. Yarn around the hook. Pull the yarn through the loop on the hook. The magic ring is done. Now we need to work 6 single crochet. Insert a hook into the loop on your middle finger. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. There are 2 loops on the hook. Yarn around the hook and pull the yarns to both loops on the hook. A single crochet is done. Place a marker on the first stitch. You can see this is V-shape. The V-shape is a stitch. The second single crochet. Insert a hook into the loop on your middle finger. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. There are 2 loops on the hook. Yarn around the hook and pull the yarns to both loops on the hook. The second single crochet is done. There are 2 V-shapes. The V-shape is a stitch. The third single crochet. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. Yarn around the hook and pull the yarn to both loops on the hook. The third single crochet is done. The fourth single crochet. The 5 single crochet. The 6 single crochet. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. Yarn around the hook. Pull the yarns to both loops on the hook. 6 single crochets are done. Put the loop slightly larger. Put the yarn tail to close the ring. Put the yarn tail hard until it can't be pulled. We are working in spirals, so we don't need to make slip stitches to join the round. Just start round 2 in the first stitch. In round 2, we need to repeat instead of 1 single crochet, 1 increase for 3 times. Remove the marker. Insert a hook in the first stitch and work a single crochet. Hide the yarn tail by putting on top of the hook. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. There are 2 loops on the hook. Yarn around the hook and pull the yarns to both loops on the hook. A single crochet is done. Place a marker on the first stitch. Then insert a hook into the next stitch and work an increase. An increase means working 2 single crochets in the same stitch. The first single crochet is done. Insert a hook in the same stitch and work another single crochet. An increase is done. The first set is done. Second set. Insert a hook in the next stitch and work a single crochet. A single crochet is done. Then insert a hook in the next stitch and work an increase. Insert a hook into the same stitch and work another single crochet. The second set is done. Third set. First work a single crochet. Then insert a hook into the next stitch and work an increase. Round 2 is finished. Now let's start making round 3. In round 3, we need to repeat a set of 2 single crochets, 1 increase for 3 times. First set. Insert a hook into first stitch. The first single crochet is done. Place a marker on the first stitch. Then insert a hook into next stitch and work the second single crochet. Two single crochets are done. Then insert a hook into next stitch and work an increase. The first set is done. Second set. First work 2 single crochets. 1, 2. 2 single crochets are done. Then insert a hook into next stitch and work an increase. The second set is done. Third set. First work 2 single crochets. 2 single crochets are done. Then work an increase. Round 3 is finished. In round 4 and 5, we need to work 12 single crochets in every round. That is to work 1 single crochet in every stitch. Now let's start making round 4. Insert a hook into first stitch. The first single crochet is done. Place a marker on the first stitch. Continue to work the remaining single crochets in the same way. Now round 5 is finished. Now let's start making round 6. In round 6, we need to work 6 decreases. A decrease means to combine 2 stitches into 1 stitch. We need to insert a hook into front loops of 2 adjacent stitches separately. This is the whole stitch. This is the back loop of the first stitch. This is the back loop of the second stitch. Now let's work the decreases. Insert a hook in the front loops of 2 adjacent stitches separately. This is front loop of first stitch. This is front loop of second stitch. There are 3 loops on the hook. Hook the yarn and pull it through the first 2 loops. There are still 2 loops on the hook. Then hook the yarn and pull it through the last 2 loops. A decrease is done. The second decrease. Insert a hook into the front loops of 2 adjacent stitches separately. There are 3 loops on the hook. Hook the yarn and pull it through the first 2 loops. Then hook the yarn and pull it through the last 2 loops. The second decrease is done. The third decrease. Insert a hook into the front loops of 2 adjacent stitches separately. Hook the yarn and pull it through the first 2 loops. Then hook the yarn and pull it through the last 2 loops. The third decrease is done. The fourth decrease. Insert a hook into front loops of 2 adjacent stitches separately. The fourth decrease is done. We need to work 2 more decreases, but first put the loop slightly larger. Stuff with the filling cotton into the fabric. Try to double as much as possible. Now let's work the 5 decrease. The 5 decrease is done. The 6 decrease. Six decrease are done. Pull a loop slightly larger. Cut off the yarn. Put up the yarn tail. Remove the marker. Pass the needle through the front loops of these 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put the yarn tail to close the ring. Hide the yarn tail. The main body of strawberry is done. Now take out the green yarn. Let's make the strawberry leaves. First make a magic ring. Wrap the yarn around your little finger. Then bring it to your index finger. Make a loop around your middle finger. Pinch the yarn with your thumb and your middle finger. Instead of hooking the loop on your middle finger, hook the yarn and pull up a loop. Now we need to repeat the set of 5 chains, 1 slip stitch for 5 times. Yarn around the hook. Put the yarn through the loop on the hook. The first chain is done. The second chain. The third chain. The fourth chain. The 5th chain. 5 chains are done. Now work a slip stitch. Instead of hooking the loop on your middle finger, hook the yarn and pull up a loop. There are 2 loops on the hook. Hook the first loop and pull it through the second loop. The first set is done. Second set. First work 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 chains are done. Now work a slip stitch. Instead of hooking the loop on your middle finger, hook the yarn and pull up a loop. There are 2 loops on the hook. Hook the first loop and pull it through the second loop. A slip stitch is done. The second set is done. Third set. First work 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 chains are done. Now work a slip stitch. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. Hook the first loop and pull it through the second loop. A slip stitch is done. The third set is done. Fourth set. First work 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 chains are done. Now work a slip stitch. A slip stitch is done. The fourth set is done. 5th set. First work 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 chains are done. Now work a slip stitch. Insert a hook into the loop on your middle finger. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. Hook the first loop and pull it through the second loop. A slip stitch is done. The 5 set is done. Pull the loop slightly larger. Pull this yarn tail to close the ring. Leaves a part of yarn tail and cut off the yarn. Put out the yarn tail. Adjust it. Pass the long yarn tail through the needle. Pass the yarn from the back like this. This is the front side. This is the back side. Tie a knot with 2 yarn tails. You can tie a few more knots. Cut off the short yarn tail. Now let's sew the strawberry leaf to the body. This is where we close the ring. We will sew the leaf here. Now hide the yarn tail. Now take out a part of white yarn to make the strawberry seeds. This doesn't have to be too many of them, about 3 seeds in every side. Leave a part of yarn tail outside. Then pass the yarn through the same hole. Tie a knot with 2 yarn tails. A strawberry is finished. Continue to make 4 more strawberries in the same way.